makes sense. So don't, you got to make sure you read it. I've had customers call me, I'm pushing the up arrow, nothing's happening. Well, that's because you're, well, they're like, I'm pushing the up arrow and the jacks aren't going up. Well, that's because you're extending the jacks. You need to make sure that you read it before pressing the button. You can see that there's a little picture right here in the center, and it says manual, and it looks like a picture of like an RV or a bus. You can see the two duals in the rear. That is, let's say, a symbolization of your vehicle. So these front ones here do the front two. The left side does the left two, front and rear. The right side, right two, rear and front, and the back does left and right on the rear. So when pushing them, they do come down in pairs. When you're doing auto mode, it chooses what it needs to do. So you may notice one goes down, the other goes down, the other one goes down. It uses pressure sensors to put those down. So when doing manual mode, push and hold, extend until you feel the one touch the ground. And typically they don't touch at the same time, so you wait a little bit and you'll feel the second one touch the ground. After you feel them both touch the ground, don't lift the vehicle up, go to the other side. So start left, do right, and then you can slightly adjust front and rear. Now, how do you know if you're leaning front and rear? A, you should be able to feel it, but they're not lit up right now. On the front, left, right, and rear of the vehicle, there are little lights that will come on that are yellow. Think of those as a bubble level. So if I'm leaning left, leaning towards the front, my left light would be on and my right light. If I push auto level, it's going to chase those lights, try to make them disappear. In manual mode, you are not trying to make those lights disappear. If they're on, you parked on a hill and there's nothing this system can do about you. If you try to lift the vehicle up enough that that little yellow light goes away, typically you'll lift that side off the ground. Now, if you find that, let's say, you do get out at the end of this and you check your jacks and they're all on the ground, but your left rear tire is off the ground, use the retract button on that side to bring that side of the vehicle back down until they touch. All jacks on the ground, all tires on the ground. That's the rule with the jack system. Never get under the vehicle when the jacks are extended. Don't try to use it to change tires. Don't use it to work on the underside of the vehicle. If someone comes in here and releases the park brake or plays with the jack system and you're under there, they come up a lot quicker than they go down. So this vehicle will drop down on top of you. It's extremely dangerous. There are quite a lot of injuries caused when people try to use these for other uses other than leveling. When you're done with either auto leveling or manual leveling, there is an auto store button. That auto store button works no matter what you did, manual or auto. All you do, make sure you're clear all the way around, make sure your slide out room is in, make sure your steps are not over a curb or anything like that. Push the auto store button. What it's going to do is it's going to automatically start operating the jacks, bring them back up, bring the vehicle back down to the ground to, to a normal operating level. And all the red lights will be on. They'll slowly go off one by one. Now, when the auto level or the auto store is in use, you'll see a blue blinking light. That indicates that the system is working. The computer is running. Never shut off the system. Never turn off the key until that blue blinking light goes away. The only time you ever want to interrupt that, there is a cancel button. If you find that you're in an emergency situation, you realize that you had parked over a manhole cover and your jack's coming down and it's pushing through it or something, push the cancel button, for God's sake. Stop it. But other than that, don't use it unless it's an emergency situation. There are 3 other little lights that I mentioned one of them before, but one says excess slope, one says not in park / brake, and one says travel mode. The excess slope light will come on if you use the auto level button and you're parked on something that's more than 3 degrees. Typically, it'll put 3 jacks down. It'll realize it's out of level. The third one will stop. That light will come on. It indicates that you need to manually stabilize the vehicle. Don't use the auto level. Once again, don't rely on that safety function. If it fails for some reason, you're going to lift the vehicle off the ground. Extremely dangerous. The next little light wording down is not in park brake. Once again, that will come on if you did not set the park brake that I said needs set every time you park. The last little wording is travel mode at the bottom. Travel mode will come on, a little green light, when all the jacks have fully extended and you're technically able to drive away. Physically get out, make sure the jacks are fully retracted. Don't trust the little light. They're not typically wrong, but anything can happen. Pretty good, right? All right, I'm going to pause it there.